It's just there's no shortcut around it. It's something that you're very proud of as a coach because, it's an entire group really dedicating themselves to the craft. It's tough. You come here. There was a lot of talk about our run game, and just because of the past successes I've been fortunate enough to have myself, and guys were excited about the system. And when you don't have immediate results, you get to learn a lot about people. And in this particular circumstance, we have a bunch of guys really working at the craft at a level that you need to really attack something when you're playing an opponent at the National Football League. And so it was awesome to see that collective effort really bear fruit. That's a team accomplishment because it doesn't just involve the offensive players. You're talking about a lot of effort that goes in on the defensive side of the ball to give us the type of looks so that we can really, hone in on the specifics to the defense. And I was just happy with how everyone kept their head down and was grinding to earn that result because that's something that you can be proud of for the right way. You don't fall into that. That's months and months of strain and deliberate practice that you can be fortunate enough to have a day like that. Yeah, no, I've been waiting for a game like that. I think, first of all, Tua is playing very, very high-level football. It's phenomenal to watch him commit to the process. It's the third game in a row where I didn't feel a high or a low from him. He was just trying to execute each and every play. But it was rewarding and exciting. Because you can ask Tyreek and Waddle themselves. Like it's about a team, and all of their production has to do with a team working in concert so that they can get those numbers. And you play a defense that is bound and determined to make sure that those two individuals don't get as many targets. That leaves opportunities for everybody else. And I was very happy that really it seems like the only in-house do people really understand that we have a good team, a good offense, a good defense, good special teams. We only have it's not just names, and hopefully you got to experience a little bit of what we've been witnessing inside of practice and out, so that we have a lot of players that can make plays, and when they're asked to step up and make a play, you saw a ton of examples of guys doing that, which we knew they were very capable of. Oh, I can't say enough about that kid. Here's a guy that has been known in the National Football League as a special teams player, very good one. And all he's done since he's been here is do his thing on special teams and then make plays every time he's asked. We've had some injuries, given some opportunities, and he's stepped up to the plate and been around the ball. He competes and does a great job for us. So very, very glad that he's on our team.
In the defensive front, you all limited Chubb and forced him to have his first fumble of the year. What's your thoughts on that?
No, that's something that we're pretty confident in. Is our run defense. regardless of what the stats say, there's been some games where we've had some quarterback runs really hurt us. But when you cut on the tape and when we're really looking at ourselves in a critical fashion, I feel like that's one of our strengths. It was a tremendous challenge. They do an unbelievable job in Cleveland to really dominate the time of possession and utilize, one of, if not the best runner in the league. So it was cool to watch our team rally behind that. They knew the challenge that was in front of them. They knew, the thing about a good running team is you either have to stop them or you're going to have to deal with the consequences, and it's a slow death. And there's no way around it. You can't hide. So for them to have that effort and get after it, it's very proud of that.
Mike, when you look at Tua's body of work over the last 3 games with 9 touchdowns and no interceptions, 30 points scored for the team each game, what is something that he is doing that maybe isn't so obvious to us or fans? What's he doing now?
He is he's really seeing the field well, and I think sometimes the way how fast he's playing and how fast he's processing, you cut the tape on, it looks like he might be throwing to number 1 or 2, but he is progressing through eligibles 1 through 5 in his progression with lightning speed. And that's really making it frustrating for a defensive front. You're in pass rush mode. You can't get to them. That can wear on you. So he's doing a lot of things visually, manipulating defenders, making really good throws, and getting the ball out, and putting in when he is throwing into contested situations from time to time. He's putting outstanding ball placement, so you can't, I don't think we've had, it's probably 90 pass attempts roughly in 3 games, and I don't think there's been a close interception or a turnover. So you're talking about being able to have aggressive style of football play where you can feel comfortable as an offense and as a coach to call a pass play and know you're not going to give the defense it back, So that's those are just some of the things. And then the biggest thing for me with Tua specifically is it'd be impossible to see, on game tape, but the whole team in the last month has taken an unbelievable jump in accountability, how they prepare, and how they just go about doing their jobs, and he's one of the main reasons that's occurring. He is really come into his own skin in regards to being a leader at that quarterback position. He's guys are rallying around him. He's demanding a standard and holding himself at a tremendous high standard himself. So those are just a couple of things we could have a Tua press conference if you wanted. Very, very happy with them.
Mike, going back to August, probably the most questioned area of the team might have been the offensive line. Clearly that's come together and they played well, culminated by great performance today. Can you just talk about how the offensive line as a whole has come together this season and really played quite well?
No, it was we felt pretty good in training camp. You're going against one defensive style. When you're making your assessments, really OTAs and training camp, we felt good about the progression. Then I felt that once we started playing the season, the adaptation to the different nuances of defensive front play and structures and adjusting week by week with your concepts and such, I thought we showed our youth. And what's been tremendous, led by the coaching staff, specifically Frank Smith and Applebaum and Person and Lem, really, is you've gotten into a groove of how to properly prepare for the specifics of what a defense can present. But then most importantly, above all else, that's all good and fun, but you've seen a offensive line group that has made the decision to be all in and really own the techniques and fundamentals that are necessary to win. So it's a beautiful process when you talk about players getting better during the course of the season because it's so hard. And so when you see players and groups of players coming together and getting better during the course of the season, to me, that's what the name of the game is, and that's it's the hardest thing, but it's the most important thing when you're talking about an entire season.
Coach, Tua was asked about you and how you helped this team become successful. He says you're the man of the people. What does that mean to you that this team has bought in week by week to what you brought to the table?
Everything. I think that's it's them that are choosing to buy in. That I think you can do a ton of really cool things in the National Football League if you can somehow get an entire building, an entire roster to move in one direction. And that is way, way easier said than done. It doesn't matter what my messaging would be or what my beliefs were. Doesn't matter if they were really awesome or really terrible. It doesn't matter if a bunch of individuals decide to be all in on it. They have to choose that they want to hear it, and then they have to choose that they want to listen to it. So it goes back to the fact that you have incredible, young, hungry individuals that collectively are getting the taste of the fruits that bear when you sacrifice together and are able to accomplish a common goal. So I think that it means everything to me because I know that's the formula for any sort of success that you're chasing, but it also makes me feel unbelievably indebted to those players because I know that is not something that any one person can force people to do. They have to choose that they want to go a certain direction. Once they make that choice, if there's enough people involved, you can do some pretty cool things because it's hard to win in this league, and you can have some games where you can win and against a very good team that had a good game plan on both sides of the ball. You can be able to win comfortably, earned in the fourth quarter. But I'm just very, very happy with the captains, the leadership council, and just really all the players for committing to a cause that they're starting to see how worth it is.
The previous 2 weeks, you had to win shootouts. You had earlier games where defense had to pick up the offense. How gratifying was it to have this type of performance?
No, it was nice. This has been this being our 7th win. I think it was hard to get comfortable in the previous 6. There's a reason for that. It's the parity of the National Football League and how good teams are and how you can't sleep on any opponent. But when you have it just takes an incredible amount of detailed work to be able to, as a team, be able to beat a team at home like this that was coming off a bye. They were not sleeping on us whatsoever, and they really wanted to get after our team and build on that last win they had against Cincinnati. So it was it's what it's about. You want to bottle that because you have that type of commitment and effort throughout the week, you'll have a chance versus anybody. regardless who you play, if you have an entire locker room, coaching staff, and organization committed in the way that they were this past week.